Hey. In 2007, some DJ friends and I headed to a juvenile justice centre in Wagga Wagga and ran a week of music workshops for the teenage boys at the centre, spending a few days writing lyrics, making beats and recording their voices. We had never done anything like this before, and at the end of the week, we ended up with a handful of songs and a want to run more workshops like this, sharing our love of music with as many participants as possible. Almost 7 years have passed since that first music workshop, and in that time, our little idea has blossomed into a fully formed charity called Heaps Decent. We now run over 200 music workshops a year in schools, community halls, and juvenile justice centres all across New South Wales. We record aspiring teenage rappers in Redfern and write songs about butterflies with 6-year-olds in Wilcannia. One of the main points of difference that Heaps Decent has over other educational organisations is that we focus all our teachings around something that a majority of young people are obsessed with, and that is rap music. I feel like rap gets a lot of negative press, with constant attention brought to what horrible role models rappers are to kids, promoting drug use, violence, misogyny through their lyrics, advocating skimpy clothes, and worst of all, bad language. But if you ignore all the stupid hype that comes with anything popular, you'll find that rap is actually a powerful tool to use in the classroom. Now, I'm not suggesting that every maths teacher quickly needs to work on a tight 16 bars about long division in order to connect with today's students. But what I am saying is that there are actually elements of rap that are relevant to the classroom, and when used correctly, rap can motivate uninterested students to participate in class, or it can raise levels of self-esteem and allow students who don't get along to work together as a group. It gives young people a way to express their feelings with others and a chance to create something that they can be proud of. We had a fairly good idea that rap was capable of doing all these things when we started Heaps Decent, but we discovered quickly after running more and more workshops with students of all ages that rap is actually an incredibly effective way to help young people learn how to read. Last year, Heaps Decent ran a week of workshops in Wilcannia, a small town in rural New South Wales. On our first day, we set up at St. Teresa's Community School, where we worked with our youngest workshop participants yet. We'd been used to working with teenagers, at the very least kids who are over 10, but today at St. Teresa's, it's a school for those in kindergarten to year 2. At our past workshops, we had made songs about family, about being locked up, about the difficulties faced by being a teenager. But today, a group of 6-year-olds were asking us to make songs about subjects that were important to them. Things like animals, swimming, and food they like to eat. So I channeled my inner child, the guy who grew up every morning watching Sesame Street, and I split into groups with the other facilitators. One group worked on writing lyrics, another made the beat, and the last group recorded vocals. We quickly cycled through the students, through each group, so that everyone in the class had contributed to each part of the song we were writing, a song that we had appropriately entitled Dinner Time. Writing raps with children encourages them to be creative, to rack their brains to come up with issues, or in this case, come up with meals that they want to rap about. We made a list of everything they wanted to put in the rap, and we started putting them into lines that fit a basic rhyming structure. As soon as they've heard us put 2 words that rhyme together, their minds buzz with every single other possible word they've heard of that rhymes with another word they've heard of. These words are then screamed into our facilitators' ears for a good 2 minutes as we finish writing the verses. We've actually put a ban on rhyming the words school and cool in all Heaps Decent workshops because, contrary to popular belief, every kid goes to school because it's cool. Now, making the beat and recording what has been written focuses on rhythm. We get students to clap along to the beat, to count themselves in, and to fit their lines in time with the music. They watch each other record their verses in a respectful silence, cheering whenever they rap a line perfectly and offering support whenever students are having trouble. What's great about making music in a classroom is that there's actually a role for every student to excel at. The outgoing students can record their voices and tell everybody exactly what they're thinking, as loud as they want, while the more introverted students can act as a producer, wearing headphones and making sure that the levels of all the other students stay out of the red. So by the end of this song, 45 minutes have passed, and we've made a full song, complete with a chorus, a bridge, and every single member of the classroom has contributed to each part of the song, and we have the honour of playing back their voices to them for the first time in their lives. What was a fairly shy classroom when we got there is now a shame-free zone. Every student desperately writing more and more lyrics to record, or repeatedly showing off their verses to their friends at the top of their voices. By lunchtime, all the other classes at the school know the chorus to Dinner Time. Back in Sydney, we polished up the song and we sent it to another facilitator who works in animation. She made an animated clip for dinner time, focusing on animating the lyrics the students had written, phonetically spelling out each word in time with the music. We sent the finished music video back to St. Teresa's Community School a month before we were scheduled to return to Wilcannia. And I'm going to play you some of this video right now. Is everybody hungry after watching that? I feel like maybe I should plug my restaurant while I have the chance. So that was animated by one of our facilitators, Georgia Perry, and is guaranteed to be the most bass you're going to hear at TEDx today. When we returned to St. Teresa's 3 months after our first visit, all the students at the school knew every single word to dinner time. Kids from the other grades chanted the chorus to us as we arrived, crediting the original rappers by pointing and smiling at them while they rapped their verses. In our workshops, some of the students were writing out the lyrics to dinner time, word for word. These 6-year-olds knew how to spell pumpkin. I found out that a few times a week the teachers would show the students the video we had made for dinner time at assembly. And since the video focused on the words, the students sang along with like karaoke, learning how to spell each word as it flashed on screen, each syllable at a time, in time with the music. Since then, I've been reading studies advocating teaching literacy through song. It has been proven that children are more likely to remember a story that rhymes, and even adults studying English as a second language find it easier to learn the basics of English using rhyming stories and chants. In fact, I think if I taught myself this talk in a rhyme or as a song, I wouldn't need to use a teleprompter. A class of kindergarten students in America had their storybooks sung to them instead of being read, and were then told to retell their stories to their teachers. What happened is the students actually used a bigger vocabulary when retelling the story than the other students who had simply been read the storybook. The performance aspect of rap is also very positive in the classroom, bringing young people out of their shells and encouraging them to memorize fragments of text, familiarizing themselves with new words each time they perform. Some teachers view reading as something similar to an instrument. In order to be fluent in it, you must practice, and each piece of writing, be it poem, speech, or song, should be performed. I've read stories of teachers hosting weekly poetry readings, where the classroom is transformed to a beatnik cafe, complete with low lighting and a bar stool to perform from. Some teachers have even set up a karaoke machine and had their students sing along to their favourite songs before having them then write down the lyrics. We view karaoke as an activity for only the drunkest of adults, but I really think karaoke should be part of the curriculum at every primary school. The great thing about rapping is that at a basic level, it's easy to do. Find the words that rhyme, get them in time with the beat. Don't worry about singing in tune, just get up there and express yourself as loudly as possible. It's a simple platform for young performers and one relevant to their interests. It makes me wonder why there aren't more stories of teachers bonding with their students over rap. These days, your average 20 to 30-something-year-old teacher grew up with Tupac blasting from their car, yet it's almost unheard of for them to bring their love of rap into the classroom as well. Heaps Decent returns to Wilcannia every 3 months, working not just with St. Teresa's, but also with the public school, high school and the after-school centre in the area. With every return visit, we not only document improvements on the literacy skills of the young people we work with, but also a drastically improved eagerness to work with us, a lack of shame, and a desire to proudly share the music they love and make with their peers. You can find me and the rest of Heaps Decent getting students and hopefully teachers to rap all across New South Wales. Thanks a lot.